Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Konig standard snow tire chains, the CB12s, here on our 2021 Nissan Kicks. So if you guys are looking for a way of giving yourself a little bit of traction control inside your vehicle, this can be a very nice way to do it. Why is that? Well, what's awesome about these tire chains, not going to be too bad to install. What's awesome about them, we can stay on the outside of our vehicle. Don't really have to get in that muck and mire near as much as we would have to. They are going to be Class S compatible, and we definitely don't have too much room to work with. So I like that we're not having too aggressive of chains. That way we're not damaging any of the machinery on the inside. So talking about chains, we are going to have a square link or a D-style link chain here today. And basically that's just going to give us a pretty standard kind of approach to our snow tire chains. I'm sure we've all seen it before. It's just our regular links, nothing too crazy. Again, if you're looking at twisted link and V-bar supports, because they're definitely out there, I think you're just going to have too much issue with that strut being so close to your wheel. So this is probably the most aggressive we're going to get here on our Kicks, is going to be our standard links, but they are still going to do a great job of biting through that snow and ice. That way we get the traction control that we're looking for. Now we are on a diamond style pattern here today. What that means, we're seeing good coverage of our chain all the way throughout our wheel. The biggest gap you're gonna have is right here at the top where your first connection's made. Other than that though, you're gonna have these nice horizontal or vertical bars, I guess depending on your perspective, going between your links here. And again, that's biting through that snow and ice, giving you good coverage all the way around. And the kind of distinct advantage that it offers you over that ladder style chain that we're probably all used to seeing, that kind of forms those hills and valleys, right, that we have to overcome every time as we're driving. Now that's excellent for your start and stop maneuvers, especially if you're somewhere on the highway, just going straight, just want that start and stop. But if you do have a little bit of turning you need to do, you just start losing a little bit of that turning radius because you have to accelerate over those humps every time. So we're kind of get the best of both worlds with this guy in my mind, not having to accelerate too much, but still getting that traction control that we're looking for. Of course, we are going to have a manganese nickel alloy construction, making sure that this holds up well to corrosion over the years, which is awesome, especially with that salt and all those chemicals being used nowadays. Nice to have something that's going to be holding up well. Now with that though, a little maintenance can go a long way. Spritzing these guys down, getting all those chemical agents off of it is very, very helpful. And secondly, just storing them nice, cool, and dry is very helpful. And if you guys are really worried about it, a little bit of oil or grease in the off seasons can be great to make sure that they're ready to go next time you need them. A couple things to get out of the way here today too. Let's make sure we are putting our own tire size into the fit guide here at etrailer.com. That way we make sure we are getting the right fit. For some reason, we have some aftermarket tires on there. And then secondly, we all are going to be on a front wheel drive here. So all of our chains need to be on those front wheels. That way, we are actually getting that traction control that we're looking for. The rear's not going to do us. So as long as on that front tire, let's go ahead and see how we can get them installed. To begin our install, what we want to do is go ahead and lay out our chain just like you're seeing it. Why we're doing that, the big things that we're looking for, any kind of kinks or binds in our chain that's going to be holding us up and making sure we don't have a good fit. All we want to do, go ahead and walk those guys out. A lot of times what ends up happening with these cables is they kind of like get looped through one of your segments. All you got to do, walk it out, and you're going to have too many issues, which is great. The other big thing that we are taking a look on here though is going to be our hard and soft points of contact. What I mean by that? Well, right here on the end, you guys can see we have our little kind of holder here. On the other side, we have those hard points of contact. Now, we don't want those making contact with our rubber on our tire, as that could end up puncturing or scraping it or otherwise damaging it, and that could definitely lead to deflation. Definitely don't want that. So all we need to do, make sure that's pointed to the other side, and let's start looping all our chains. I like to get them nice and tight to my cable here, as we're actually be throwing this around our wheel and making our connection. So let's go ahead and do that together. So as I throw it around, what we're going to kind of find here is that break in our chain, right? Kind of having it right behind our wheel. I like to pull these bottom elements out as well, because we know that they need to be there towards the bottom. And that's a nice little spot for them to rest. And then we can simply take these guys, of course, checking our chains, making sure they're not binding themselves as they go across. So I can just take my connection here, bring it across, take my other connection. We simply take our two ends, make our connection, pull them apart, and start fitting our chain on our tire. So it's looking like it's a pretty nice fit as it's sitting here. Let's go ahead and make our other connection here on the front. We can take our little red liner, we can set that right into that hook. Now later on, we may go ahead and shorten these up, just depending on how our fit here is towards the bottom. With our top connection now made, we can make our bottom connection. To do that, we're going to pull open this latch on our pulley system, set in our chain from the other side of our tire, allow that latch to fall back down, and then I kind of like to stand up, really try to pull this through to get as tight as we can there on our tire. Now that's looking pretty good to me. We might be able to force another one, but as it stands, we have a pretty good fit. I'm just gonna go ahead and loop it through here on my red holder. Now this is where it can be a little bit up to you. You could go straight up here potentially. I'm gonna see if I can bring it back across. I really like getting that actual tension there, making it harder for it to walk out of that sleeve as well. And the only thing to keep kind of note is we're gonna try to keep this hook pointed away from our wheel as well. So it can be helpful to go ahead and make sure that the hand of your base is at the base of this rubber strip, to go ahead and pull it over and lop it onto the other side. But other than that, it's looking good. I just want to go ahead and double check all of my connections around here, making sure it's nice and tight. Other than that, we're nice and installed. Well, as we saw, that install definitely not too bad. I love that I'm staying on the outside of my vehicle, not having to get in that muck and mire. Overall, just a great little way of getting you that traction control that you're looking for. It does come with this nice little traveling case too, which can be excellent. Now it does have a kneeling pad and gloves in there, but they're just little soft plastic things. Nice to keep the wet off of you for sure, but if you guys really want something, highly recommend just having some gloves. They're very, very helpful. We actually have a couple kits here available at etrailer.com if you're looking to accessorize. Otherwise, those floor mats always work in a pinch to keep those knees dry so you're not sitting there in the ice and snow too much longer. Overall though, I think Konig just does a great job with their chains. They're well known just to do a great job. You know they're gonna last you the years to come. They don't look too bad on your vehicle. Again, can't really beat that install being so easy as it is. Otherwise though, guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Konig Standard Snow Tire Chains, the CB12s here on our 2021 Nissan Kicks. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.